Hello, guys. Welcome to the FPL Manual podcast show with your lovely host, the FPL Manual. My name is Adewale. You can call me Wale, you can call me Manuel, you can call me Manuel for the purpose of this video, but I'll answer my actual name, which is Adewale or Wale for short. And you're welcome. Another season is upon us. The 2026-2027 season is just a few days away from beginning in September. The official draws will be done this August 27th. That's the league phase draw. We still have 7 teams fighting for a spot in the league phase. 29 teams are already through. I remember looking through the pots 1 to 4, and I noticed some big teams that are going to clash definitely when the draws are done. But we're back, and a new season upon us. The game launched on the 11th of August, Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I had a mild illness or so at that time, so I did not even have time to record. But now we're here, a new season is here, and yes, Champions League football is here. I'm excited. You can see me all pumped up, and I'm here to share my tips on what to expect for the new season, lessons from the last, what teams to watch out for, players to watch out for. Transfer window is still ongoing right now, as at this August until the window is done. Possible price review. I've not really gone through the prices, so a lot to look upon. But once more, you're welcome to the FM Podcast Show. I hope you enjoy your time with me here. And yes, let's get this started properly. So first of all, before I get into the whole audio, we have only 310 subscribers on YouTube. So I really like everyone who is watching this or listening to it to please subscribe to the YouTube channel or leave a like on the video at least, so it could reach the algorithm will do its own thing and push it out to as much people as possible for us to get a wider audience. Come on, we still have less than 500 subs in 2026, and I've been running the channel for about 3 years, at least the YouTube channel. So please leave a like, and let's get it started. So I'm going straight to um the website gaming.uefa.com, and let's see how we did last season. In case you cannot see it on my screen, there's one small segment on the right there. You can see I finished in the top 200. My overall rank last season was 174, and it was a good finish. That was my best ever finish. I've been playing this game for 8 years now, so I can call myself a veteran. Let me go to where did they check this achievement stuff? I always forget. uh, Gaming, yes, my profile, and I've been playing this game for 8 seasons now. All time stats. Yeah, I started playing in 2018, 2019. That was my first ever season, and 8 seasons in a row now. I've played Champions League Fantasy. Yes, 8 seasons in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm an 8 year veteran, but this is the actual first time I've actually had a good finish, and I finished in the top 200. I can still remember the post. I posted it on X. I finished in the top 200, 174 in particular, and it was a very great finish. So in this video, I'll be talking about what were my strong points, lessons I learned, and a lot of things actually to talk about. Yes, so this was my final oral for last season, third in Nigeria. I'm not the type to brag with rank, but since we're here, might as well just use this opportunity to make noise, make a lot of noise about it. I mean, I've never gotten top 200, but I was this close to finishing strongly last season. But there's a lot to talk about. But let's start slowly. Let's start with the game itself. Let's look at the game and look at the current price reviews for many of the key players that did well last season. So from the top of my on the right side here, I can see three players that are popular forwards in our game team: Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, and Erling Haaland, all priced at 11 million. Mbappe is the most popular one there with 57% ownership. Haaland 27%, Kane on 39%. Richard Kvaratskhelia has gotten a rank boost to 10 million. We won the Player of the World, the UEFA Player of the Year award for last season. After he had like a miraculous strong form from against Chelsea in the round of 16, if I'm not mistaken, down to the final where he also contributed a fantasy assist for Dembele, and finished with 121 points and is now priced at 10 million. A lot of prices have not really gone through here, but on face value, I can see some players that are a bit much more priced than expected, like Julian Alvarez is now 10 million, and there are players I will look forward to touching on. But let's just pause for a while and let's review. Let's look at what we're talking about, so I don't go hater skater. I've written down a few points I'm going to talk about in this episode. So this is a preparation for the new season, a season preview. I'm going to be talking about my rank. I'll be doing a rank analysis of how I finished in the top 200 and lessons I've learned, things I can do better heading into the new season. I'll be talking about players to watch. I have three midfield players I've selected that are what's interesting and might be our go-to assets later in the season, regardless of features or whenever they have the best features to look out for. And I'll be finishing with where did I stop? The current qualifiers for the league phase, the seven teams left, and any other thing that comes to mind. I'll just talk about it before you know the show is over. As I'm recording, is 1:05 a.m. West African time here, 14th of August 2026. So I need to go to bed, and I did this and post in the morning on this Friday. So let's get it started. So as I said, I finished with 174 rank last season. It's my best ever rank, and one thing I noticed that in the league phase, a lot of things have been changing. We currently have a new change, if I'm not mistaken. We have red cards. Red cards. We have one change concerning yellow cards going to red. According to Dale Johnson on BBC, says that the new season will unveil the yellow card threshold being increased from 3 yellows to 4 yellows. So because of the league phase has 8 games, if you divide it by two, that's give you four. We now have like a little bit of a margin for yellow cards threshold for you to, before you get a red card or a one match ban rather, you will need to get 4 yellow cards during the league phase before you get your first match ban, if that makes sense. Yes, so that is a new change from the season that we're entering into. I think what happened was the 3 yellow cards we had before was because the group stage had 6 games, so 3 yellows makes sense, you get a suspension, but now 4 yellows will give you an automatic suspension, so take note of that. But going back to the fantasy game itself, I did analysis of my own, talking about how my team performed across the season. So I don't know if you can see this on your screen, but I managed to do a graph on what my rank was from beginning of the season, match day 1 to match day 17. That is the final, where I finished with 174 OR. So if you look on the left here, if you look on the left side, you can see match day 1 on the left side here. This is before the game week and this is after the game week. So on the graphic there, the left side is before the game week, my rank before the game week, and the rank after the game week. So before match day 1, everyone is on 0. You don't know your rank, everyone is on 0. And yeah, I did not have a rank before match day 1 like everyone, but after match day 1 I had 91k, 91.1k. After match day 2, 37k. After match day 3, completion of match day 3, 22.3k. Match day 4, 10.5k. Match day 5, 18.3 thousand ranking. Then there was a significant bump from match day 5 to match day 6 where I got 3,490. I was already in the top 5k at this point. Match day 7, 1642. Match day 8, 219. Match day 9, 66. That was my first time crossing into the top 100 ranking, but there became a slight decline from match day 10, 104, match day 11, match day 3, 119, 234, 161, 159, and 185 in match day 16 before I managed to get a minor bump in rank to 174 in the final. Chips were played in match day 3 for my limitless. I used that chip to bring in more of Galatasaray assets at the time, and my wildcard was played in match day 6. I had a minor injury crisis and I needed to take care of some things there. I actually planned match the 8 to be when I played my wildcard as at the time, but I had to be spontaneous because of the situation on ground. And match 6 was the last game in December heading into the new year for the Champions League matches. So there was no harm done, and I think that's where I got my biggest rank boost. If you noticed match 6 here, yeah. So What does this even mean? Why am I showing all this? There's something I picked out from this analysis. If you can notice here, the most of my green arrows was during the league phase. Most of my green arrows from matches 1 to 8, I went from 91k to 219. That's close to the top 200 as at the league phase. And it's that top 200 ish area I was that kept me throughout the knockout phase. So I'm going to divide this next segment into what I call a roadmap for the new season. Let me quickly put this up on screen. Quickly put this up on screen. And here we go. Yes, roadmap for the new season. So if you look at my screen, yes, I've put it up on screen. If you look at my screen, I designed a special roadmap explaining how I believe you should approach the new Champions League season. So stay with me for a little bit and I explain my line of thought. So the first one is called the foundation. The foundation phase is basically the league phase. The league phase is where you have the most time to gain rank. You can gain rank after the league phase, but you have a bigger chance of gaining rank during the league phase because that is your foundation. And at this phase, I believe the best time to use your chips is between match days 1 to 8 or matches 1 to 6 because that's the best time to actually maximize those easy fixtures. Maybe Arsenal is playing Karata Mati or something like last season. We got something like that towards the end of the league phase. You can maximize those opportunities to bring in those assets from certain teams. However, it's not too late between matches 7 and 8, which is in the new year, because we cross into the new year by January, and matches 7 and 8 are the remaining of the last two league phase matches that we have to play before we go into the knockout phase, or rather, the initial playoffs, then the round of 16 down to the final. So the foundation stage is your beginning stage. You have to set the ground running, or you have to lay bricks. So at this point, if you lose rank, maybe you have some red arrows here and there, you can still gain some momentum later on. However, the midpoint is the most crucial point, and that is where I noticed I slacked a lot last season. As at Nasdaq 9, I had my peak of 66 OR in the world. I've never been there before, so it was a strange place to be in. So I didn't really have a game plan on how to approach it. I was just optimistic that I will be in the top 50 or in the top 20, and I did not have that game plan. But that is the most crucial point of your season in Champions League Fantasy. As I wrote here, I said it is in the new year, and we get new transfers, like actual players join new teams, new transfers for different teams, and we have to learn how to adapt or how to sustain what we have built during the foundation phase. And I tag this area or this phase match this 9 to 13 as well. You have to remain firm and remain solid. Then the final phase we have there is the final sprint or the running. The running phase is from match days 14 to the final. You can start it, maybe match day 13 can join that, but match day 14 to me, that is the second phase of the second leg of the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, down to the semi-finals and the final. Yeah, that is your final sprint. That is where many of us have similar selections. Our teams are very similar, and for you to actually come out stronger or gain rank, you have to make some gutsy selection, some gutsy pick, and go against the crowd with some differentials. And instead of you captaining Mbappe that has 57% ownership, you can try captaining and Olise for an example, and hope he comes out with a bigger outcome than your other managers have done. And that is the way I played my season last year. So going back to teams, what did I learn? What lessons did we learn, or what did I actually learn from last season? Looking at the analysis we have done so far, and all of that. What lessons did I learn? So the first one I wrote here, I didn't design a graphic for that, so I'll quickly read it out. I've already mentioned some of them, but yeah, the best time to gain rank is during your league phase, match days 1 to 6. I've already mentioned that in the foundation phase, that is where put in the bricks and the cement and all of that to make your rank solid. Then the next one is chips. Chips are best used during the league phase. If you don't know by now, please know. You can see my analysis I showed you earlier. Best time I gained rank was during the league phase. Match day 3, I got a minor 10k boost, but it was my wildcard that did most of the heavy lifting for me in match day 6, with me getting about the 3 times fold my rank from match day 6 to match day 6, between match day 6 and the beginning of the match day 6 and the ending of match day 6. So please plan them wisely. Plan them wisely. Your chips are important. We have only 2 chips this season, wildcard and limitless, as it has been since the inception of the game. So nothing has changed concerning chips for now. My third lesson I learned was sometimes it's a mix of luck and skill. So I don't know if I can quickly show you, but I think I can find that post. So as at match day 5, where I got my initial red arrow, as at match day 5, I had Mbappe and McTominay as my captain picks. Yes. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, um, McTominay was playing on Tuesday, and Mbappe was playing on Wednesday. Let me quickly find that post. McTominay was playing on Tuesday, and Mbappe was playing on Wednesday. Now, McTominay was playing against Qarabag, and he had initially scored a brace, 15 points. Yes, he had a 15-pointer, scored a brace, and that was easy 30 points. I didn't need to swap. I have no reason to swap. Most times I make my selections before the week starts. I found it, and McTominay scoring a brace, a midfielder, 15-pointer. There's no brainer. What am I changing? He got 30 points. It was an easy lock, and I was already on like top. I've already entered the top 10k margin at this point, so there was no rush. I mean, I knew Mbappe was playing the following day, but you really can't bank against a 30-pointer. And I was enjoying myself. I was living my life. I think I was already crossed the top 5k at this stage. Then all of a sudden, Kylian Mbappe goes all in, scores 4 goals against Olympiacos. If I'm not mistaken, yes, that way they played the following day. Scored 5 goals against them. I still have the picture of that image where he scored 5 goals last season. Let me go to match day 5. I have record of every game week on my laptop here. Yes, so yeah, he scored 4 goals. Look at him with the hat trick ball there. He scored 4 goals and against Olympiacos, and I didn't captain him. I had him, but I didn't captain him, and that what led to my rank drop from from 10.5k, roughly 5,000 ranking plus be during the game week, to a serious deficit to 18.5k. I still have the graphic here that I just showed you guys. Yes, so yeah, that what led to this red arrow you are seeing here. That what led to the red arrow. Just sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's lack of luck, but you need to have the skill to also get the luck. Because if I didn't select McTominay and I captained him, like if I didn't select McTominay at all, I would not have that initial boost I wanted to have. So the only lucky unlucky side I had was Mbappe hauling. However, fast forward to match day 9, where I now had a decision to make. In I think was the match day 9 is when the yes match day 9 was the playoffs. Yes, match day 9 was the playoffs. Real Madrid were playing the playoffs. Yes, they didn't qualify directly, so they were playing the playoffs. And I done my future ticker. I've done everything. You can see them here. And Newcastle had some favorable fixtures. This is what my team looked like at the time. Newcastle had some favorable fixtures, and Mbappe was my first captain pick for Tuesday, and Gordon was my second captain pick for Wednesday. Now Mbappe at the time only had an assist or so. He did not really do well against Benfica, and Gordon was my next pick. I've already selected to place Qarabag, and guess what happened? Gordon took me from 219 to 66 with 4 goals scored. I mean, many of us won't forget, right? This was like the highlight of the last season. He broke the record for the most points scored in UCL Fantasy, like record of all time. So it's just sometimes it's luck, but sometimes it's skill. But I believe it's a mix of both, because if you don't have the skill to select God on that period, you have missed out on that luck you could have gotten. So it's a mix of luck and skill. So this is just an example I give based on the experience I had on how I got significant returns last season. So you need to know how to maximize both luck and skill to go far across the season. The next lesson, I'll just quickly rush this many 2 lessons. Pay attention to all teams and have a trusted source of updates. So I constantly post updates every week: who is injured, who is unavailable, who did not travel with the team, who missed the flight or something like that, or who was dropped. And I try to follow up on all teams. Fortunately for me, I'm not playing FPL this season, the classic FPL game. So I will have more attention on watching football across other leagues to see who's on form, and instead of rather waiting for Friday, Saturday to start looking up stats on who got the most goals. I'll actually be watching a lot of games across Europe to give me grounded knowledge on updates on who is suspended and all of that. But yes, have your sources on where you can get news or team updates. I have a list here on Twitter. I try to post it every year. If you go to my Twitter account, that is at the FPL Manual, and you go scroll down a little bit, you see best of club fan base. This is where I personally get my updates on who is available, who is leaving a certain team, from Inter, from here and there. For example, you can see Galatasaray probable lineup already in my front. It's from here I usually repost for you guys to see. So if you follow me for more content like this, or at least follow this list, you'll be able to get your source of news every time. Then the last lesson I learned from last season, which I'll be carrying on this new season, is try and roll your transfers. Now every week we get, according to the rules, we get, I don't think they have changed it yet. We still get two transfers per week, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, transfers. We get two transfers, yeah, per match day during the league phase, during the knockout phase, and increases between the, I think, round of 16 down to the final 3-5-3-5. So most times we are always, I know most times injuries can come and spoil our plans. Then you have to take a hit. I took like 2-8 hits last season, so it's a miracle I won't finish in the top 200 from that initial league phase. But um, don't overlook rolling your transfers. Sometimes you don't need to make two transfers, and you could save a transfer for the next round in case a team has some favorable games. Maybe you want to triple up on Liverpool assets, for example, and you can just make one transfer this week, and 2 weeks time when the Champions League is coming up, the match the let's say match the 7 or 8, you could bring in three Liverpool assets. I said this because it worked for me literally in match the 8. I had used my wildcard in match the 6. I did not really know how to manage the match 7 and 8 fixtures, because match 8 is when everyone is trying to finish in the top 8 and or qualify as a whole, and I did not really have a chip left. So what helped me back then was that I rolled my match 7 transfer. I used one transfer in match 7, and I rolled the other to match 8, and I brought in Ekitike. I brought in, let me quickly find that match 8 posting. I'm not mistaken. So the advice I'm giving you is not something that is hearsay. Something I literally did that helped me. So you can see I made 3 transfers in match day 8. I brought in Mbappe. I didn't have him at the time. It was a bit risky going without him. I brought in Mbappe, I brought in Ekitike, and I brought in Lamine Yamal. Those were the 3 transfers I did, and that secured me 107 points, without using any chips in the final day. So at this stage, a lot of people were using chips, their wildcard and limitless, but because I had 3 transfers, it was easy to just catch up. Luckily, I had some players that were on form as well, and I finished with 107 points. This is what my team looked like at the time. I think just 1 or 2 blanks from that team, and yeah, that was basically it. So um, that brings it to the end of the lessons learned from last season. The next segment I'll be entering now is players to watch out for the new season. I'm going to start. I have 3 players in mind. Let me show you the graphic of them. These are the 3 players that I would love you guys to watch out for the new season. We have Manchester United Player of the Season and Premier League Player of the Year of 2025-2026 season, with 21 assists to his name last year, breaking the all-time record of assists made Premier League, Bruno Fernandes. We have Nico Paz from Como 1907, who is also on the list. They had 12 goals and 6 assists. And we have Yan Diomande, Real Madrid latest signing that was bought for around 120 million euros, has joined from RB Leipzig, and is going to be one to watch out for. Let's look at some stats for both players based on Squawka metrics for last season for both players. So this is the graphic of their stats, and for minutes played, Bruno Fernandes played the most minutes there and had the most stats or games played, 35 league matches played, and he had 3,066 minutes. Diomande had 33 stats or 33 games played with 242,476 minutes played, while Nico Paz had 35 stats, same as Bruno Fernandes with 282,883 minutes played. He helped him Como play in their first Champions League campaign coming this season. For goals, both Diomande and Nico Paz had 12 goals scored, non-penalty goals as well. While for Bruno Fernandes, he had 9 goals scored and 5 penalties, also 5 non-penalty goals rather. So that's 4 penalties scored. Assist Bruno leading the chart there with double digits, not just in fact double digits in a very serious manner. 21 assist, having 136 chances created. Then the others were 8 assists, 56 chances created for Diomande, and 6 assists for Nico Paz, 51 chances created. Touches in the box 2,648 for Bruno Fernandes, 91 touches in the box. That is overall touches the first, and 91 touches in the box. 1,758 for Diomande overall touches, and 195 touches in the box. That shows his dribbling qualities. We saw him in the World Cup. We knew what he can do with Ivory Coast. Now getting his dream move to Real Madrid, we are going to see more of that action under Jose Mourinho again. It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. And yes, for the last day is Nico Paz, who had 2,122 touches and 90 touches in the box. Both all these players had at least 90 touches in opposition box across last season in their individual leagues. And there are people I'll look out for. According to FootMob here, FootMob also gave more details on Bruno Fernandes, who created 58 more chances than any player in the Premier League, a total of 136. That's the graphic of him there. Then Diomande here, there's a graphic of him as well. Him and Antonio Nusa were two of the best dribblers in the Bundesliga last season, both playing on the wings for RB Leipzig. Diomande moved to Real Madrid means that duo will no longer continue. He had 4.3 dribbles per 90 against in the Bundesliga last season. He was ranked first for most dribbles per 90. And last is Como have announced the signing, or rather a new loan for what is his name now, for Nico Paz, who's had a very electric year for Como last season, with Cesc Fabregas being the manager there. And the team have announced, or he said himself, that hi Komachi, I'm very happy to be able to announce that I'll stay at Como another year with you. I'm really excited and I can't wait to start the new season and see you all back at the stadium. Forza Como. That is a statement from Nico Paz himself, Argentine player who is still enjoying his holiday break from the World Cup. Let's look at these players' prices in the game. What prices are they? I believe Bruno Fernandes is around 9 million. Bruno Fernandes, he's priced at 9 million. And who else? Diomande is still listed here as an RB Leipzig player, but his price at 7.5 million, looking like a very good differential asset at 8% ownership right now, compared to, and it's very cheaply priced compared to his teammate like Vinicius Junior, who is 9.5M. So there could be a way we could cheaply get into Real Madrid's best XI if Diomande becomes regular. Real Madrid have made a lot of signings, with Cucurella joining the team, Ibrahima Konate leaving on the free from Liverpool, joining Real Madrid as well. They have a change of manager. I forgot to mention Dumfries from Inter joining them before the World Cup started. And Bernardo Silva as well, who could compete for minutes with Diomande on the right side and brings a lot of experience into the side. So let's see how Yosomiro lines up. The season is about to begin. A lot has not happened yet. A lot is yet to happen between now and September when Champions League starts. So let's see how it goes. And Nico Paz is priced at 7 million. A bit too expensive for his qualities. A bit too expensive. 7 million. I mean, it's 7 million is first time Champions League game. It's a bit overpriced, but who knows? Let's see how Como's features come out. They could be the new Bodo Glimt of last season, who went far in their first time axing in the Champions League. So never say never, right? Let's see how it turns out. A bit overpriced, definitely overpriced, because someone like Vitinha is even priced at 7.5. So if Vitinha is 0.5 ahead of you, and this is your first time playing Champions League, you can really tell they just gave him a random prize. But let's see. Who knows? Anything can happen. It's Champions League. It's Champions League. So yeah, those are my talking points. I think I'll stop at the road to the league phase. So we have some teams still qualifying for the league phase, and Football Meets Data on X has helped us show the final 14 teams fighting for their spots for the last 7 spots left in the league phase. We have 36 teams that will make the league phase. In case you don't remember, 29 have qualified, some via the league phase, some via the winning the Europa League and all of that, and different positions to qualify, but we have 14 teams still fighting for the last 7 spots, and these are the favorites to make it through the next round. We have AEK Athens, 65% chance of qualifying to the league phase. Celtic, Slovia Bratislava, who will be coming back after featuring about 2 or 3 years ago. Dinamo Zagreb. Forgive me, I can't pronounce it properly. This is Hapoel Basheva. They look like an Israeli team, I believe, with their logo. And we have Bodo Glimt who will be coming back again if they win NEC Ning. Forgive me, I don't have to pronounce it well. NEC from the Dutch league, and we have Olympic Lyon versus Fenerbahce, which that is one of the hardest games to predict, because Fenerbahce will need to ask. We need another Turkish team in Champions League. Galatasaray came back last season. Fenerbahce missed out last year. I think they were the reason why Mourinho left there. Mourinho lost his job at Fenerbahce before going to Benfica some months later. So it will be. I'm watching that game keenly. I think that's one of the games I'm looking forward to watching, the Fenerbahce versus Lyon game, and the playoff is set to take place on, I think, 17th and 18th, for Tuesday, Wednesday, then the following week as well, when we will not get our you know UCL League Phase draw being done on the 27th. So yeah, that's all. That's all for the podcast. I don't really have anything else to say. Dan, welcome. Please leave a like. I'll be doing more of this content throughout the season. I'm not playing FPL this year, so I have a lot of time for myself and also for Champions League fans like you guys here who tune in every week or every time I post. So first of all, I'll thank you all for making it this far to the video or to the podcast. If you are listening on Spotify, this audio will be used on all platforms for our listeners, and also the video version, you can catch it live on YouTube here when it gets posted later this weekend. If you have any questions for me, please reach out to me at the FPL Manual on X or on Instagram, and I'll answer your questions there. What else? Thank you guys for tuning in to this beautiful episode. I wish you guys the very best for a blissful season ahead, and we'll see you later. Ciao. Bye for now.